So, I really didn't want to make a video today, but then they released this trailer, and I was like, you know what? Let's talk about it. So, this is the new Esperia Prowler utility, which makes it sound way cooler than it actually is. This is a $300 cargo ship that can transport 30 SCU of cargo. And they nerfed the guns. So obviously they have the,
The
super
Prowler
epic
utility is a
cinematic.
brand new dedicated cargo ship with enhanced stealth abilities.
The trades.
So, okay, hold on. So as you can see, it kind of attaches from the underside of the ship and it drops down. So that's kind of cool. I like that. But again, this is a 16 SU container. It can only hold 2 of them. That's it. That's the whole ship. $300. For reference, the Hull A, which is $90, can carry twice the cargo. Make it make sense.
Trades some of its combat capabilities for more industrial uses.
If you don't want to get detected doing your cargo runs, this is the perfect ship.
This ship is for someone who wants to do cargo, who wants to remain stealthy, and who wants to look sick doing it.
Okay, so their whole pitch for this is that it's a stealthy cargo ship. That doesn't mean anything. Like, at all. Right now, stealth, when it works, which is not a lot of the time, only prohibits other players from, like, seeing your ship from, like, further away. That doesn't matter if you can only carry 32 SCU. You're not doing these big contract missions. You're not doing anything important to where you're gonna need to, like, stay hidden from people. Because they're not gonna want to grief you. Like, they don't care if you're this tiny. Like, yeah, you can make the argument that you could be, like, carrying spice or, some, like, more expensive commodity like weevil eggs or something. But that's very specific to events. And people are still just going to use, like, a C2 or something that can actually take a beating. Because this thing can't. At least comparatively. So, again, for $300, you're getting no utility out of this, like, at all. And just to hurt it even more, the normal Prowler has 2 size 5s, and they downgraded those to size 4s to, like, balance the shit. You don't need to balance it. It's already ass. Just keep it the same way, so it's at least slightly less ass. But they can't do that for some reason.
The Prowler utility is different from the baseline Prowler.
Because we had to carve out extra space for the new cargo, that meant that the belly section of the ship had to increase in size just a tiny bit.
I will give him some credit where it's due. This ship looks pretty cool. The base Prowler looks really cool, and this, like, little chunkier-ish one looks pretty neat too. I don't mind it. But again, no one's gonna use this ship or buy it.
It also has a ventral size 2 remote tractor beam, which can be accessed from the pilot or co-pilot's.
Hooray! We have a tractor beam so we can more easily move 2 boxes. Lucky us. I just don't get it. I don't get it. You can literally use the tiniest handheld and to get this done in, like, 5 seconds. Like, yes, this is nice to have. I'm not shitting on there being a tractor beam. I would never, because that's stupid. But it's just like they're trying to shoehorn it into this role that it was never meant to fulfill. They clearly just went, oh, Alien Week is coming up. We need a ship. We don't have any ships. Okay, let's make a variant. Okay, of what ship? The Prowler. People like the Prowler, right, guys? Yeah. Okay, so what variant are we gonna make? Well, we don't really have any time to make one, and we don't really have any budget because no one gives a shit. So, how about we make it a cargo ship, because that takes no effort whatsoever, and then we can sell it for an obscene amount of money and hope that the whales buy it. And I think for once, they're wrong. I don't think people are going to buy the ship at all.
Seed.
And that'll allow you to move cargo freely in and out of the ship. The base version of the ship has these feathers on the wings, which get deployed down when you land, but those are no longer really needed since the functionality is slightly different. And so what we've done now is when you land with this ship, those feathers get tucked up, giving you more space to actually move cargo around the ship freely.
That's cool. I like that. That kind of attention to detail is sorely lacking on a lot of ships. So I actually appreciate the thought process there, and the fact that they, like, made a little bit of effort. But again, here's the thing. They could have spent this time and resources on updating old alien ships and making them look good, because then people would buy those. If they took the base Prowler and actually made it useful, then that would be great. People would love that. But they didn't do that.
It features 2 size 4 guns under the wings
Useless. Skip.
instead of the original 2 size 5 guns, while retaining the remote turret on top with the 2 size 3 weapons.
No one is going to have a 2-man crew on a 30 SU cargo hauler. That's just not going to happen. People already don't use the Prowler because it's not that good in combat. This is just worse. Like, why would you do that? That hurts my brain to even think about.
As the Prowler utility is a variant of the Prowler, rather than a standalone chassis, it gets to share all the cool paints between both versions. And existing Prowler owners, of course, get to benefit from all the new paints that come with the launch of this vehicle.
We've updated the lighting quite a bit in order to sort of just give a little bit more feedback to the player. We've chosen to really lean into sort of the red lighting that we've been doing on the interior of the Prowler in general, and push that to the exterior.
Okay. I don't like their design philosophy for Esperia ships. Being in an interior that is strictly red is really harsh on the eyes for any period of time. I think they need to ditch it. I know they're trying to, like, separate this brand and have its own feel, but they need to completely rethink it because it's not effective. It does not work at all.
And so
In my
if you're
opinion, of
coming
course.
down above someone, you just look like this incredibly aggressive silhouette.
Okay, this is ridiculous. Okay. So they're showing the Argo raft, right? Which at this point is like $100, and it can carry almost 200 SEU of cargo, right? This thing is like triple the price and can carry less than a fraction of that. And they're like trying to argue that this thing would like steal cargo. What is it going to steal? Like 5 cents worth of material? Like you're not even going to cover like the gas bill with this. This is so ridiculous. But they're trying to shoehorn this into this role because they want to sell something without putting in any effort at all.
Red lights flashing everywhere. I think it looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks awesome. That doesn't matter if it's useless.
Compared to the base Prowler, we have stripped out the lower interior.
By
I will say, I like this interior layout. It's cool. But the walkway feels unnecessary. I think what they should have done is add, like, an extra entrance from the front. They very easily could have done that. And then just made this large enough to hold another row of cargo. So at the very least, you could have, like, 40 SU. It would make a really bad situation slightly less bad. It doesn't fix anything. But I think this walkway just hurts it even more.
removing the main section of drop seats and replacing that with a 32 SCU cargo hold.
And added a sort of clamshell door opening on the undersides to allow easy access to the cargo.
That opening animation is sick. That is really cool. As much as I hate the ship, that is really cool.
Bay.
It essentially looks like a face hugger, but it face hugs your cargo.
There's a new engineering room on the upper deck, which is previously where a component closet was, and it retains 3 of the 4 jump seats up.
Okay, this pisses me the fuck off. They kept jump seats here. Presumably because they didn't have, like, room to extend this enough for, like, other things. But they already expanded the back, which means they had the budget to change the ship a little bit. They should have kept expanding up front to add, like, a bed. Literally just a bed. And some other, like, amenities. Because if you're going to make this a cargo ship, you're going to want to spend time in it. And you're not going to want to spend time in a ship that has 0 utility. I don't get this ship at all. There was no thought process behind this, I can just tell. It's so blatantly apparent that they just went, we need new ship, make ship. Okay, we made ship, release it. Like, it's pathetic.
Front in the co-pilot foyer and replaces one of those drop seats with a storage rack for handheld cargo boxes. I'm super happy with how it turned out, and I'm excited to see feedback from players and how they end up using it in the game.
We wanted to try and come up with an arrangement of the cargo hold and the tractor beam.
Okay, I don't care. This ship is a waste of time. Absolute waste of time. You can already tell... Ignore my comment. You can already tell that people are not happy with this. Like, at all. And I don't blame them. Lol, 32 SU, yep. Not nearly as price prohibitive, still $300, yep. We need to downgrade guns because it can hold 32 SU instead of 20 people. Like, it's that ridiculous. It's so stupid. The reason I dislike this is not because of the ship itself. I want to make that very clear. The reason I don't like it is because it's such a waste of everything. They could have spent this time updating an old ship. They could have spent that money on updating an old ship. There are so many more people that would have wanted that. And CIG just... I can't help but get the feeling that the marketing team is dense as rocks. Because, believe it or not, if you make something that you already sell even better, you're gonna sell more of them. Especially if it's a ship we already know people like. For example, fix the Caterpillar. Make that ship actually work. People would buy the Caterpillar. Believe it or not. Like the Raft. They sold the Raft because they updated it and people bought more. But they still think that they need to release these arbitrary ships and these tiny new vehicles that nobody wants because they only are going to see profits if they release brand new stuff, and that just isn't true. But here we are. Go get your Esperia Prowler utility. For $10, you can get 1 SEU of cargo. Isn't that really cool? Isn't that totally worth your money?